It is Motivational Monday, and I am Janice Butler, author, speaker, and founder of Woman of Character Incorporated. And y'all know what we do on Mondays. It is Motivational Monday. We are here to give you the motivation, hopefully for your week, to give you something to think about, something to be encouraged about, and just to help you get through your week today. So come on in. I'm just kind of waiting for some people to get on. Hey, Melita. Happy Monday to everybody. It is Motivational Monday, and again, I am Janice Butler, author, speaker, and founder of Woman of Character Incorporated. And we are here every Monday at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time to give you some motivation for your week. And as you guys all know, this is October, is Breast Cancer and Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Although, we should be aware of both of these issues all year long, but this is the month that they have designated as Breast Cancer and Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So today, I first want to say congratulations to all of those survivors of domestic violence as well as breast cancer who are have come out of the situation. As many of you know, I am a survivor of both breast cancer and domestic violence. Yay! And so today I just want to congratulate those that have survived breast cancer, and even those who are still fighting and going through the process of with breast cancer fighting. I just want to encourage you to keep fighting. So today we're going to be talking about breast cancer. I'm going to specifically be talking about breast cancer today. Again, as I said, I am a breast cancer survivor, actually a two-time breast cancer survivor. And so again, I want to congratulate those that are also breast cancer survivors, as well as those that are still fighting. And I want to encourage you and say to you that this battle is not yours. The song that's going through my head is, this battle is not yours, it's the Lord's. And it truly, truly is. But I want you to know that God has a plan for you, whether you're dealing with breast cancer or whether you're in a domestic violence situation. God has a plan for you. And today, again, we're going to be specifically talking about breast cancer. And I just kind of want to give you some things that helped me. And hopefully it will help you. It will be an encouragement for you. It will help you to continue your fight if you are still fighting this fight. Or if you are a survivor, it will help you to go back and encourage somebody else who you'll encounter along their journey. All right. So again, congratulations to all those who have survived breast cancer. You are strong. You have purpose, and God has a plan specifically for you, because you didn't go through this journey just for yourself. You went through whatever it is that you have gone through, whether it's been breast cancer or domestic violence or a bad relationship, whatever the hurt, the pain, the rejection, the situation was, it's not just for you, but it's so that you can help somebody else, so that I can help somebody else along their journey. So I'm going to give you some tips and some things that I did and that I think will be a motivation and be an encouragement for you, particularly if you are still in your fight. on this fight, on this journey, because I want you to know that life truly is a journey and it's a process. Things don't change overnight. They're not necessarily going to change overnight, but when we change our perspective about whatever has the diagnosis that's been given, when we have a belief system that is in Christ, that is in God, and knowing that his power, his love for you is that you be in good health, and that there are things out there for you to do and that you can do to get through the process, and knowing that he ultimately has a plan for you will help you along your journey so that you know that you can win the fight against cancer. So let's jump in. So, most people start off with, when they talk about breast cancer, they talk about getting your mammogram. Well, I want to start off with something a little bit different. I want you to know your family medical history. I think that is so vitally important that you, first of all, know your family medical history, particularly your history on your mother's side. Breast cancer, as we know, is usually something that's hereditary or passed down from the women's or your maternal side of the family. However, men can also get breast cancer. So we're finding and seeing more and more cases of men being diagnosed with breast cancer as well. But again, the first thing that I want to encourage you to do is find out what your family medical history is. It's so important to be proactive. And one way to be proactive is knowing what your medical history is. Did your mom have breast cancer? Did her sisters or your aunts have breast cancer, or your grandmother, or anybody in your family? Did they have cancer? We can have those discussions with your doctor early. Early detection is the key, and you can have those discussions early when you are aware of what your family history is or has been. Being proactive, please don't take for granted that you're fine. We have doctors for a reason. And yes, we walk in faith. We have faith in God, but we have to also do those natural things that will cause us and keep us healthy in life so that we can be strong in our bodies. But we have to know what our body is saying to us, right? And one way of doing that is finding out what your family history is, what you might encounter. Okay, this is all, knowing what your family history is all about, is knowing what you may encounter. So that's the first thing. And I say that because when I learned of my mom, my mom did not have breast cancer, but two of her sisters did. And at the age of, they were both 39 when they were both diagnosed with breast cancer. And ironically, I was 39 when I was first diagnosed with breast cancer. And I was diagnosed at the age of 39, but again, I started getting my mammograms, which is the second step, is to get your mammograms regularly. And because I knew of my family history, and my doctor was someone, I grew up with, actually, but don't let that be a deterrent. Get with your doctor early. Discuss your family history early, because it allows your doctor, one, to know how they need to treat you, because every diagnosis, every situation, every person is different. Every situation is not the same. And so you don't want a doctor who's going to treat you the same way they did with the person that just walked out of their office, right? So find out what your family history is. Discuss it with your doctor so that they, whenever you start having concerns or noticing things, you can, your doctor is already aware of your family history. And then sometimes when you go to the doctor with a symptom that may not even be related, or you might not think is related to breast cancer, or to any type of cancer, they may, because they are aware of your family history, be able to do blood tests, to do exams or screening of some sort, because they know how things are related medically. Okay? So the first step, know your family history. The second thing is to get your mammograms on a regular basis. Mammograms are done yearly, and don't wait. If you do have a family history of breast cancer, you don't have to wait. I think the age is 35 is when I first started getting my mammograms, and it was early because my doctor required them to be performed early because she was aware of my family history. And so she had me to do a baseline, what they call a baseline, early, so that as you're doing them from year to year, as things change, as your body changes, they'll be able to see the changes in your tissue, in your breast, and how those things are formed. So talk to your doctor early about your family history. Don't just ignore it. Don't just take for granted that they know, because they don't, unless you make them aware of it. Don't rely on, filling out that sheet that says, what is your family history? Actually have the conversation with your doctor. Hey, did you notice that, my mom had breast cancer, or my mom had some type of cancer, or my dad had some type of cancer, whether it be lung cancer, whatever it is, or some type, if they had high blood pressure, or if they've had diabetes. Talk to your doctor about your family medical history. I cannot stress that enough, because again, had it not been for me talking to my doctor early about my family history, she wouldn't have recommended that I start getting mammograms earlier than what was recommended at the time. And I think I know that now they are finding that women are being diagnosed earlier than what insurances sometimes will pay for. They're finding that women are being diagnosed at earlier ages with breast cancer. So again, early detection is key, very, very key to survival. It increases your survival rates, I think, by 80 to 85%. So please, please, please talk to your doctors about your medical family history. And then start getting your mammograms on a regular basis. Again, early detection is key. Mammograms, that can be uncomfortable, but they don't hurt. But even if they do make you uncomfortable, or knowing that the diagnosis would come back, positive or negative, but knowing that you've done it will give you a peace in knowing that, okay, from this year to this year, I'm good. So they can also, doctors as well as yourself, can pinpoint when things started changing in your body. Again, we have to, ladies, we have to know our bodies, because a lot of times, they say doctors, they're practicing medicine. Yes, they are practicing. And so we have a responsibility to be able to give them accurate information, to give them information about ourselves, so that they don't just lump us into, one size fits all, because it doesn't. Situations are different with individuals. Okay. So, and as I was saying, I was diagnosed at the age of 39 because I had started getting my mammograms earlier than what was recommended at the time. So again, please do that. And then as you're going through and you're getting your mammograms on a regular basis, And let me go back and say this about your mammograms. Sometimes insurances will um, refuse to pay for mammograms, but there are organizations, there are health organizations out there that will help fund your mammogram for free. Um, I specifically know if you are in the Kansas City area or the Missouri area, Surviving the Odds Foundation. It is a local foundation that travels. They have a mobile mammogram van, or I'm sorry, trailer, that they go around to different places and they set up shop outside. You can go and get your mammogram. Please, if you need that information, I'll just give it to you really quickly here. But Consuelo Ross is the founder of Surviving the Odds. Please go and check out her organization. You can find it at stofoundation.org. That's their website, stofoundation.org. Their phone number is 816-866-3STO, or that's 816-866-3786. Give them a call. Check out their website. They have a mobile van that goes around, and they offer free mammograms, or they offer assistance with mammograms. Just talk to them. Trust me. And if you aren't in the Kansas City area, you can check out your go to your health department. Check out on the website and see about mammograms. There are more organizations that are helping people who don't have the insurance, or may need assistance in getting help getting a mammogram, because it is a preventative exam, which most insurances will pay for. And if it's early for you, keep pushing. Check them out. Yes, Keisha, thank you so much for putting up Surviving the Odds Foundation, their website. Again, that's stofoundation.org here locally. So check them out. Consuela's amazing, amazing woman. She is the founder of that organization, and they have helped so many young women and women get mammograms and been able to be diagnosed early, instead of not going diagnosed at all because you're afraid. And let's talk about the mammogram itself. Don't be afraid of the diagnosis, because the earlier, again, the detection, the better your survival rate. They can help you. They can help you, determine what it is that you need to do. I had inductal situ breast cancer, where it was in my ducts. And it was very early when they caught it. It had not spread. So they did a lumpectomy and they got the cancer out. I was fine. However, a year later, the cancerous cells began to reform. That does not happen in every person's case, okay? So again, early detection. The lumpectomy is outpatient. It was an outpatient procedure. But you want to know, you want to be healthy, you want the information so that you know how to set up a strategy. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Keisha says she did her first one last year and was terrified, but nothing was wrong. Thank God. Thank God. It can be very overwhelming to get a mammogram. But again, when you go, it's not about the actual exam that's overwhelming. What we're afraid of, ladies, is getting the results. But again, when you know your family history, and just because you've have a family history that has breast cancer, or even if you have a family history that doesn't have breast cancer. Because some people may say, well, I don't need to get one. I don't have a family history. My mom or none of my aunts or nobody in my family has had it. It still does not mean that you should not get one. You get one for the security and the peace of mind in knowing that you are healthy. Because cancer, as we know, can set up anywhere in your body. So if we aren't eating healthy, if we aren't taking care of ourselves, getting the proper rest, stress, those factors, we don't dictate how cancer produces. Keisha said it's the if factor that messes with you. Absolutely. It's if if I have it. But I asked the question, wouldn't you rather know that you do so that you can get it taken care of, instead of going and going and going, and then you end up at a stage 3, stage 4, and it's beyond treatment? And that is the hope, because again, God has a plan for you, and sickness is not a part of that plan. So I want you to be healthy. I want you to be strong. I want you to be able to live a long life. And here are some of the ways when we talk about self-care. Here are some of the ways that we as women, we need to care about ourselves, take care of ourselves. If you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. So we have to sometimes take matters in our own hands. So, as I said, know your family history, get your mammogram. Don't take for granted that because you don't have any symptoms, because you don't feel funny or feel anything, that you don't have it. Because again, it's just a way of being assured that you do not have this enemy called breast cancer. Okay, so we're gonna get our mammograms yearly. And again, once you know your history, particularly if you do have a family history of breast cancer or any type of cancer, I suggest that you talk to your doctors regularly about any preventative measures that you can take to lessen your chances of contracting or attracting or anything growing. Okay. So when you take your mammogram, again, find a support system. We talk about that if factor. We talk about, the being overwhelmed or not wanting to hear the diagnosis. Find a support system. Talk to others. I had a lady last week who had been recently diagnosed with breast cancer. And actually, one of my friends suggested to her that she talk to me so that she can get information about, what to expect, since I've already been through it. Thank God. Again, I say the things that we go through are not for ourselves, but to help others. And so she gave me a call. I was able to give her information about how I went through it. And actually, it was really funny, not funny, but ironic that she had the same type of diagnosis that I did with the same type of breast cancer, the inductal situ, what was in her ducts. The doctor gave her the same recommendation, that do the lumpectomy. And so what I offered her as well was even long-term information, what to expect even after the lumpectomy. What happened to me? It doesn't mean it's going to happen to her. I believe that it's not, but we also want to be proactive. We don't want to just go through life like, that things are going to be okay. We have a responsibility to take care of ourselves and to do what we know to do, or as much as we can do, so that we can make sure that we are healthy and that our bodies are whole. Okay. And so I gave her some things. When we talk about breast cancer, some of the things that I want to share with you are, if you are dealing with really any type of cancer, 1, try to eliminate as much sugar in your diet as you can, because cancers feed on sugar. And I know that sweet tooth is going to come up. And even some of our regular foods, bread has sugar, flours have sugar in it. There are things that naturally some fruits have more sugar in them, bananas, pineapples, things like that, that have sugar in them. But if you can eliminate or significantly reduce the types of food that you are putting in your body that have high concentrations of sugar, that will help, because cancer it feeds on sugar. So if you aren't feeding the cancer, it will wither and die. The other thing that I suggested is that when you drink alkaline water, cancer cannot live in an alkaline body. It cannot live in an alkaline body. I would suggest alkaline water of at least 8.0. Drink as much alkaline water as you can, because again, cancer cannot live in an alkaline body. You will significantly reduce the growth of any type of cancer, whether it be in your cells, whether it be in your muscles, whether it's breast cancer, lung cancer. You will significantly reduce the growth, if not make it wither and die altogether, with an alkaline body, as well as making sure that you reduce your sugar intake, because again, cancers feed on sugar. And so those are just two of the things that you can do. Don't be afraid of the diagnosis. When your doctor says that you have to have a lumpectomy, or if your doctor says that you have to have a mastectomy, or recommends those things, don't be afraid to get a second opinion. Again, a lot of doctors are just seeing patients, but you want to, if you don't have a doctor like I had, who one knew me as a child, we grew up together, and who was really concerned about my health and my well-being. And I'll give you a little story. When I had the lumpectomy, after I had the lumpectomy, they got the cancer out. And when I got my mammogram that following year, and the cancerous cells had started forming again, my doctor was actually the one that recommended that I get the mastectomy early. I am at the age of 39, right? And it was the reason that she recommended it was because she knew, one, my medical history. She knew, and I really believe that she was concerned about my well-being. And when I talk about well-being, I'm not just talking about your physical body. I'm talking about your mental and your emotional state as well. Because emotionally, we're afraid. Emotionally, we're overwhelmed. Mentally, and yet we still have to work. We still have to raise our children. We still have to take care of our home. And now we have to deal with this sickness. But she recommended that I get have a mastectomy done. Well, when I went to see the surgeon, he kept trying to talk me out of having a mastectomy and he even told my doctor she doesn't need a mastectomy. It's too early. They can just, do another lumpectomy, cut it out. He did not want to do such a drastic surgery. However, one, I trusted my doctor. Two, I made the decision. Yes, I'm going to have the mastectomy. Because one, mentally, I had seen how my aunts had dealt with, one of my aunts particularly, how she dealt with the breast cancer. Mentally, she had a double mastectomy, and emotionally, she always felt she was very subconscious, because when you tell somebody that you have breast cancer, the first thing they do is look down at your breast, just to see if they can see a difference. She was very subconscious of people. She felt like everybody was staring at her all the time. And just that emotion of, losing both of your breasts. And so I didn't want to go through that emotional trauma, that emotional weight of carrying, and then I didn't want to go through, what is it going to come back the next year? Having to deal with that year after year, the what if. So I decided, yes, I'm going to have the mastectomy against the surgeon's recommendation. And he was very, very adamant that he did not want to perform the surgery. And I told him, I said, well, that's fine. We'll just find another surgeon, and it really came down to that. And so, but of course, he went on and did the surgery, did an amazing job, an excellent job on the mastectomy. But again, it relieved a lot of that emotional weights that I would have or could have carried all these years, year after year, wondering, is it going to come back? Wondering, am I going to have it, get it again? Wondering, now what's going to happen, So again, don't be afraid to get a second opinion. Don't be afraid to talk to your doctor honestly, openly, and don't be afraid to say no or yes, depending on what, your conversation is. And had I not done that, and I was serious about it, but had my doctor not recommended that I do the mastectomy, I wouldn't be at peace today. And here I am, almost 59 next month. So it's been over 20 years and I'm fine. I do continue to have a mammogram on my right side though, because again, just because I had it on the left, you should continue to have your mammogram as long as you have your natural breast. Again, it's just about the comfort and the reassurance that I am fine. Okay. So, and then again, I wanted the third thing is to talk to others, have those conversations, find someone that you can trust, someone that can be a support to you. My best friend, I remember we really bonded. Okay. Because after I had my mastectomy and I had reconstruction at the same time, because I didn't want to go through the emotional weight of, not having a breast. And when you come out of that, just knowing that a part of you is gone, it's very overwhelming. This is not something that, you should take lightly. But it was overwhelming in knowing. So I said, I'm going to have the reconstruction done at the same time. So, which I did. And so after they did the reconstruction, I went to the guy that did the reconstruction, and they were, tattooing. And I'm getting really explicit here, ladies. It's ladies here. This is about anatomy and your body. So we should all be comfortable with it. Having to re-tattoo a nipple so that it looked natural. And so now that I was nervous about, because I never had a tattoo, and I'm like, is this gonna hurt? Well, my girlfriend went with me. And so again, I said, we really, really bonded, because just having her in the room with me, my support, she gave me a comfort in knowing that I was not alone in this. And so we are women of character. If you are experiencing breast cancer, or if you're fighting breast cancer, or if you just need someone to talk to, we're here for you. Okay? We're here to help you along your journey. But again, having that support is key. Someone who can walk through the process, somebody that you can talk to, that you can tell your fears to, that you can just vent to, because it is overwhelming. It can be fearful, but the word says God has not given us a spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. And we want you to have a sound mind. We want you to know that you are surrounded by someone who will be there for you. So find you a good support system to help walk you through your journey. And then lastly, but not last, pray. Pray, pray, pray. I cannot tell you how many times, how much I cried, because see, when I got breast cancer, it was 2 years after my domestic violence situation, being held hostage twice in a 3-week period. It was so overwhelming. It was like, I can't take anymore. I can't take anymore. How much more are you gonna put on me, Lord? But and so prayer was key. I realized that it wasn't something to harm me. It wasn't something that God was doing to me. It was stuff that the enemy was coming at me, trying to, one, get me off of my purpose. That is so key. And that's why I said in the very beginning, what you go through is not for you. It is for somebody else, so that you can help them along their journey. Had I not gone through what I went through with the domestic violence as well as the breast cancer, I wouldn't be able to sit here and give you information that could hopefully help you and hopefully save your life. Because we're about saving lives here. We're about helping women to win, seeing women win, seeing people get to their destiny, on your journey, walking with you along your journey. So again, pray. Ask the Lord for wisdom. Ask Him what direction He wants you to go. The lady that I talked to last week about her options and things, she said it was such a comfort in talking to me and knowing that somebody that had gone through this journey that she's embarking upon, and she's praying as well, and knowing that God is giving her wisdom and even strategies of things to do as she goes through this journey. We talked about the medicine. We talked about the long term that they wanted to give her, the tamoxifen. Once you've had cancer, they put you on a 5-year regimen of tamoxifen. And for me, and I had to just be honest with her, yes, that's what they recommended. For me, the long term was nerve damage. After 2.5 years, I began to experience that nerve damage to the point where I couldn't walk. My daughter was going off to college in 2003, and it hurt so bad to walk. And finally, I just said, you know what? I'm not taking this anymore. One, I sought the counsel of the Lord, but I knew that it was not His will for me to be on medication for the rest of my life. And so I took myself off of it. I'm not recommending that to anybody. You need to ask the Lord what direction He would have you to go. But for me, taking myself off of that tamoxifen, I believe, would have led into something else. I do have some nerve damages, but again, I think it's more from having the mastectomy than from the actual medicine, because that nerve damage that was affecting my feet, I walk fine now. So again, pray and ask God for peace, ask God for wisdom, ask God for direction, because He's got a plan for you and He wants you to get there. It's already been established. Jeremiah 29:11 says that I know the thoughts and the plans that I have for you, thoughts of peace and not evil, to give you hope and to bring you to an expected end. God has an expected end for you, and sickness is not a part of His plan. It is not a part of His plan. It may come up on you, but that is not your end, to die of sickness. There are things that you can do that to get to be healthy. All right. So again, I just want to congratulate every breast cancer survivor and say, yay, We beat cancer. And for those of you who are still fighting this journey, know that you can beat it too. It is a process, but there are organizations out there. There are women of character being one, that will walk the journey with you. If you want to get in touch with us, please, you can contact us at 816-945-0600. Leave us a message and we will get back with you. You can follow us on Facebook at Woman of Character Inc. And that's Woman with an A, where we deal with women empowerment. We are empowering women. We are hoping to encourage you, empower you, motivate you, build you up to dream, to love, to hope again after being broken. Broken from what? Sickness, from abuse, from low self-esteem. We want to empower you and encourage you to be the woman that God has created you to be, to see yourself first as God sees you, and then to know that you are worth it. You can also follow us on Instagram at WMOFCHARACTER. We're also on YouTube. Yay! Go and please subscribe to our to my YouTube page, Janice E. Butler, and hit the notification bell so that you can know when we're coming on. But we are here every Monday at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time for Motivational Monday. And I pray that today you got some information, you got some motivation, you got some encouragement that will help you on your journey. Let us be a part of it. So have an amazing week. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Keep surviving. You got it, sis. Bye.